How many lives does one lady need? Lots. Hello and welcome to a Smurfy video, and today we're looking at House of X issue 2 of 6, and on the front cover you can see we have lots of different Moiras in the middle and everybody who's kind of important in this issue on the outside. Very interesting, so let's open it up. So this is written by Hickman, who is creating his House of Xavier's world. I love these little bits in here, which is pretty cool. And bizarrely enough, it's all about Moira. And we find out that she had a family, she had lots of grandkids, and she died at a ripe old age. But she was reborn again into a second life. And in the second life, she knew everything from before, which is absolutely bizarre. There's a lovely House of X. It's called The Uncanny Life of Moira X. That's interesting. Jonathan Hickman is a talented writer, and these are all his colleagues who make this book as beautiful as it is. We also get a little description here. I'm not going to read it out to you, but I'll just, if you want to pause each section, you're quite welcome to. Very cool. So we start getting into her worlds. So first of all, she gives Professor X a kind of wild birth. But then when he comes out and says that he's a mutant, she gets on the first plane out to America and she dies. So that's quite a tragic life. In her third life, she decided to devote her life to curing what she deems the mutant gene as an illness. But that doesn't last for long because she's attacked by Mystique and Destiny. And this is where we kind of, Destiny says she's a mutant, but she's invisible to other mutants, which is quite interesting. And she talks about how she's on a path and she may have limitless lives, but she can die if she's killed before her mutation grows. Now she has a couple of options. She can lead her life in a different one and lead 10 lives and perhaps 11th one. Or Destiny and Mystique will, well, it will make sure that she doesn't live that long. And this is the brutal bit to prove that she's sincere in what she's saying. Pyro, who calls Destiny mother, which is quite interesting, kills Moira. So in the next one, she's very eager to get to know Xavier. And what she saw in him in the other life, she sees him in a different life. He's all about making the world a place for his people. He has a dream, I guess. And we see that through the Gifted years, the Hate and Fear years, and through the Lost Decade years, until the very end. Now, in the fifth life, which is probably the most intriguing life of all, we see her go to meet Xavier long before it was ever intended. And they build, instead of a school, they build this kind of home, which is destroyed by Sentinels. So we actually skip a whole sixth life. We have no idea what goes on in that life. But in the seventh life, she goes and kills all the Trask's family tree, just to ensure that they do not build the Sentinels. However, we soon learn that artificial life isn't invented, it's created, it comes into life anyway. And, well, let's just say she doesn't live that long. In her 8th life, Moira decides to embrace Magneto's way of life and sharing what she knows with him. He goes on, well, you can imagine the rampage, but is eventually brought down by Earth's mightiest heroes and the X-Men. And then she tries Apocalypse's life, clearly mutating herself to be part of that. And it was just a solution she hadn't tried. So they waged war on artificial intelligence and humans, which I think that's quite cool. I would love to see more of that. That's very, very awesome. And then in the next life, there's lots of lives. It's the 10th life. She decides to break all the rules with Charles Xavier. And this is kind of final scene where she kind of says, a better world in place. It's not a dream if it's real. And he's like, well, who are you? And she says, you can read my mind. And pretty much that's, well, I think she's trying to say, this is how we do it. So Moira, a mutant. It's kind of, not a shock. It just seems to be, it's an interesting new take on a character that we long believed to be human, long to believed one of Xavier's best friends, lovers one point. You know, it's really an interesting thing that Jonathan has done here. It's quite impressive, and the detail and the thought that he goes into to build these lives, and even this bit here. So the mini lives of Moira, and it goes into year 1, year 8, and you know, you can see how it all kind of spans. Now, I was trying to, when I was reading this, I was trying to decipher whether it was what's the word I'm looking about? Alternative Moiras to begin with, but it doesn't feel like they are alternative Moiras. It feels like they are Moira just being reborn with the knowledge. So with that in mind, wouldn't I feel like in you know, the Moira that we all knew, etc., wouldn't she have done something different with everything, or did she just expect everything to happen the way it happened and Mystique to, I don't know, bump her off? It's interesting. I'm loving it. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm loving Jonathan's writing. I'm loving how he's given us Moira back, and he's trying to tell a story around Moira. A very unique story that has led to Xavier's dream being real, and I want to know how this dream has come about. So I'm hoping we get more of that in the next issue, because the first issue just blew me away, and then I'm hoping it starts building into something bigger, more complicated, that is going to give us this new X-Men run of Hickman's in the future. So there we have it, House of X issue 2. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Facebook. My page is SmurredP. Follow me on Twitter @SmurredP. And as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.